summertime, everyone. Now, today I have here a special interview because I've been here all day for the Bronx Summit. It's been amazing for me and this whole big Bronx energy in here. Today, I'm here with the two founders, Mr. Jason and Mr. Kevin. How you guys doing today?
Yo, I'm doing well, man. I feel excited. I feel inspired myself, and I'm happy everything went well today.
Yes.
It was a beautiful event. It was a lot of work, but to see this much Bronx energy in one space, I feel inspired as well.
It was dope. Now, let me ask you, what inspired you guys to create this beautiful event?
That's a great question. I think for me personally, it really started with growing up in the Bronx and not having access and resources to things like this. And we just didn't get to see a lot of people that look like us doing amazing work in these spaces. We knew they existed. We just didn't know where they were, right? And so we wanted to create a space where we can really bridge the gap between underrepresented communities and the creative economy to really shift the narrative of the Bronx. There's no better way to learn than from people that look like you and come from where you come from.
Yes.
I agree with everything he said. The only thing that I will add is that when you bring a bunch of dope Bronx folks in the same building with the same mission, only beautiful things happen. From this event, we've gotten to see so many people work together and collab, and it's only going to get bigger.
Yes, and I can't wait for next year because this is the third annual, and I can see it going big because this is a very beautiful thing. Is bringing all of our beautiful Bronxites together, and also like this is just amazing for me. But why did you guys decide to do it in a summit in all formats? Why summit?
It's a great question, actually. I think that was the first time anyone's ever asked. I think the idea of a summit is really interesting because it's intimate. It's an intimate space that we created. Year one, we wanted to be able to have a space that was like culture meets conference, meets like block party in some way, where folks had a chance to listen to panelists, where folks got a chance to see performers, where folks had a chance to just build and create community while just having a good time. So at that time, it was small, right? And now we're in year three. And so we've been successful over the years, and we don't know if the word summit is even going to stick around. It might not. We don't know yet, right? But the idea of just watching this grow and having a space where when you think of a summit, there's learning, there's conversation, there's community building, and there's also fun.
Yes.
Shout out to the fun, heavy on that.
Yes.
And I think for some of this, there's some things that people haven't seen before. So the live pitch competition is one of my favorite parts. A lot of people had said they had never seen anyone pitch for a business before. So again, being able to kind of bring things like that to people because they might say, you know what, I have a business idea, I want to pitch it, and some people from this year who were sitting in the audience might apply next year and be on that stage.
Yes, and that's a beautiful story to hear always. Now, was there a challenge that you guys have faced building up this from the bottom up?
Absolutely. A lot of challenges. I think the one thing that I'll share is from year one, raising money for this, right? Like just quite honestly, the financial challenge. Kevin and I are both educators. We ain't rich, right? But we know that we have what it takes to go get the money. And so we had to learn just ourselves what a pitch deck is, how to start a business, how to get the LLC, right? What paperwork needs to be created to get this like legalized and make this happen. And so from there we then had to learn how to pitch to people, to sponsors. Like Kevin thanked some of our sponsors and we pitched and had conversations with all of them. But we've never done that before. We were just like trusting ourselves and we were like, let's figure this out. And it's a lot of money. This stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
So that I would say is one of our bigger challenges that we experience. But we're on the other side of it and we've been fortunate to do this for 3 years now.
I think for me, just being able to pivot on the fly. So sometimes whenever you plan an event, it's not always going to go the way you plan.
Yes.
People are going to get sick. People are going to cancel. People are going to a lot of things, even today, happened behind the scenes that the guests would never know about because we had to keep pivoting. Jason and I would have closed door conversations. What are we going to do? How are we going to figure it out? But one thing about people from the Bronx, you figure it out.
Yes.
The train keeps moving.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the most important thing, to keep the train moving.
Yeah.
Now, was there ever a time that you guys doubted yourself, and was there community to help back you?
No, I don't think I ever doubt myself, to be honest. So I have a really crazy story and upbringing, and I've had to be resilient a lot since I was young. And, challenges today that we experience just in the business space or just in any of our endeavors, to me, I'm always like, all right, it's just another barrier we got to accomplish. I've been doing this for years. We just need to figure out how to pivot now. Like Kevin was saying, that comes from, for me, like being a teenager growing up in Mount Haven in the South Bronx at that time and figuring out how to navigate. Fast forward to where we are today, I don't think there will be a challenge that I will experience today that will be harder than everything I experienced growing up.
And for me, I think it's just keeping good people around me to remind me. So if I ever do have a feeling of like, yo, how are we going to do this? keeping the Jasons around me, keeping my network around me of folks who are like, you know what, nah, you've been that guy, right? And you can continue to. So for me, keeping the right people around me for any moments that I do have like that, to dust it off, like, yo, what am I talking about? We got this.
That's right. That's exactly what you guys need. And now, where do you see the Bronx Summit in the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, I would love to see us turn into like somewhat of a festival, keeping the same type of vibe, right? Just in the creative space, panels and performances and all that fun stuff, just bigger and over the course of multiple days, not just one day. So we extended. This is the first year we grew the program to have a dinner for our speakers that was invite only. We did a community awards dinner. So that happened yesterday for the first time. It was an inaugural. Next year, we have plans to add an extra day. So make this a full 3 day event. So the goal is to continue to grow.
And for me, I want to have definitely companies and corporations here. I want to see Google here. I want to see Apple here. I want to see people from the Bronx to be able to link with folks and get jobs from this, right? And this is a dream, but people have kept saying it. I want this to eventually be at Yankee Stadium in some capacity. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
That'd be fire.
Even if we in the ballrooms and stuff like that, but they got space there. Holla at the Yankees.
Facts.
That would be fire though, because like
Speaking into existence.
speaking into existence, manifestation, that's the most beautiful thing to do because when you do that, then it's gonna come into like play. It's gonna happen. For some of the things that have occurred in life is because you manifested it. So perfect. Now, what are two fun facts about the Bronx Summit that only a few people know?
That's good. That's a great question. Two fun facts that people might not know. Number one, the last 2 years we had this on a Saturday. The first year we ever did this was on a Friday night for 4 hours. And it was a lot of challenges. People will see this today and have no idea that we started on a Friday night on a random tip in 4 hours at night. And it rained. It's been raining for the past 3 years. Two fun facts.
That's crazy.
That was my second fun fact about the rain. All right, so give me 2 seconds because that was such a brilliant question.
Thank you.
One I already kind of talked about. Fun fact: there were a lot of people at the Bronx Summit that had never met each other before, but now they're friends. So that's a really cool fun fact. And I see them hang out and all of that stuff. Um, Fun fact: all of the fundraising happens from Jason and I. So like we don't have any like outside team helping us to raise money or anything like that. And Jason and myself, neither of us are rich yet, right? So all the fundraising is happening from us. So that's a fun fact. I
That's
think if you come to an event like that, it might look like there's some big sponsor behind it. No, it's us.
That's crazy, but it also shows that you guys have excellent work ethic. That's fire. That's fire. Now, what can we as Bronxites do to help you guys out and to like continue to have this beautiful summit? Because I want to see this keep on going. I really do.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things you could do to support is come out. Right, this isn't the only event we do. The Bronx Summit is part of our media brand, Live from the Bronx,
Mhm.
and our ultimate goal is to bridge that gap between underrepresented communities and the creative economy. And so come out, buy a ticket, support our events, follow us on social media at Live from the Bronx on Instagram and at underscore the Bronx Summit on Instagram. Check out our website, livefromthebronx.com, and spread the word. That's the best thing we could do is just spread the word about what we have going on. The Bronx is a beautiful place.
Yes.
And we started out as a podcast. We still got podcast episodes. We're gonna continue the podcast. So listen to the podcast as well and everything else Jason said.
That's fire. Y'all, please watch the podcast. Come up and show up. This is like an amazing event. A lot of networking over here, something that you can learn that's new because like this experience for me was fire. I love this. So yo, like I said, big Bronx energy.
Yes,
And can we just
sir.
say thank you for taking the time to interview us? This is the part of the day I was looking forward to. I can't even hold you.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to get my interview. I got to get my interview. So we wanted to thank you. We wanted to gift you with a T-shirt, a Live from the
would
Bronx
love
T-shirt. I don't
that.
know if you could fit a small. I don't want to assume, but we have different sizes, but we would love to gift you a Live
I
from the
would
Bronx
love
T-shirt.
that.
All right.
I would love
color do
that.
you want?
We got cream. We got black. What would you like?
I like black.
All
Okay,
right.
we'll make
Let's
that
choose
happen.
black.
We
Yeah,
will make
that's
happen
fire.
right after this.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I live in Ghana, West Africa. I like to teach you guys 3 words. That's all right with you.
Please
Okay.
Aquaba, which means welcome.
Aquaba, which means welcome. Okay.
do. Aquaba, welcome.
Perfect. Etese, which means how are you?
Etese,
Perfect.
It's a say.
Perfect. And Medasi, which means thank you.
Madasi.
Perfect.
Madasi.
Perfect. You guys did excellent with those words. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Or Mesu Midasi, as we say in Ghana, which means thank you also. Whoa,
There you
this is
go.
fire, y'all.
Yeah, and
Fire.
on the back, Bronx Summit.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all need one of these.
Yes, sir.
Show up and get one of these.
Yes,
Fire.
sir.
Most definitely. Get them before they're gone.
Get them before they're gone. That's right.
Yes.
Now, thank you
Yes.
guys so much for this interview. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciated it.
Yes.
I had a lot of fun. Like this whole Big Bronx energy, Big Summit energy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it,
Most
guys.
definitely. Hope we see you again next year here too.
Definitely, I would love to.
All right.
Yes.
And until next time on Summertime.
Yes.
Supporting big organizations is great, but let's not forget the small businesses. They're growing and on a journey just like you. One day, they'll be the big companies too. Let's support the Bronx Summit.